Ghost Eye Tree is a book written by Bill Martin Jr. and John Archambault. It is a story that is perfect for any time of the year, but it is especially great during the Halloween season because it's just a little spooky. It's about a boy and a girl who head into town and their imagination runs wild as they walk down the road. So sit back and relax as you hear the Ghost Eye Tree. The Ghost Eye Tree by Bill Martin Jr. and John Archambault. One dark and windy autumn night when the sun had long gone down, Mama asked my sister and I to take the road to the end of town to get her a bucket of milk. Ooh, I dreaded that road. I dreaded that tree. Why does Mama always choose me when the night is so dark and my mind runs so free? I headed on back into the house and I heard my sister holler, "Come on, Fraidy cat, why are you hanging back?" "I ain't hanging back," I said. "I'm just getting my hat." She looked at me and she looked at that hat. "That old dumb hat, it's too big for you," she said. "It makes you look stupid." "Well, you don't have to wear it," I said. "No, but I have to look at it," she said. I put that hat on my head and I walked on and said, "Look the other way." We started walking down that road. Ooh, how dread it was, how dark it was. That halfway tree, that Ghost Eye Tree, it was feared by all, the great and the small, who walked the road to the end of town. All of a sudden, my hat blew off, and I went back to get it, and my sister said, "Come on, you afraid?" "I'm not afraid," I said. "I'm just getting my hat," and I pulled it down tight, and she told me, "Well, put your hat up. It makes you look stupid." We walked on down, and as we got halfway down, our walk slowed down. Halfway down, because we were halfway down the road that led to the end of town, and we were hiding what we were afraid of the most. We were pretending that there would be no ghost. We were pretending not to be afraid. My sister looked up. She said, "Look at that. There's nothing here but an old oak tree." "There's nothing to fear in an old oak tree," I said. "Yeah, there's nothing to fear in an old oak tree." We just kept right on running past, and when we did, we realized nothing had happened. Nothing had happened. We started dancing and singing, "There's no such thing as a ghost. There's no such thing as a ghost. It was just a dream. It was just a foolie inside our head. There's nothing to fear in an old oak tree." So we kept walking right on down that road. I pulled my hat down over one eye to look tough like Mike Barber in the movies. "I'm tough," I said, "real tough." But wouldn't you know it, my sister heard me. She turned and said, "What'd you say?" "I didn't say anything," I told her. "Yes, you did, and pull that hat up. It makes you look stupid." I pulled my hat up and we kept walking. How glad were we, how free to be, down the road that led to the end of town. For that old Ghost Eye Tree, my sister and me, we had passed it by. We arrived at Mr. Callander's, the milkman, and he looked up at me and he said, "That's a mighty fine hat you got there." I smiled. He said, "Make a good milk bucket." I didn't like that. My sister laughed, but I didn't. Nobody's going to put milk inside my hat, I said to myself. He looked up. "What'd you say?" I didn't say anything, but of course my sister heard. "Yes, he did, Mr. Callander. That hat, it's a crazy hat. It makes him crazy." Well, I picked that old milk bucket up and I kept right on walking. I said, "Come on." I'd carry it half the way, she'd carry it half the way, but that milk, it slowed us down. It slowed us down halfway down to the end of town. "Come on," my sister said. "We're halfway home." We kept going. "Did you hear that?" I said. "No, I didn't hear anything," my sister said back. But I did. I heard something. "Come on, let's go back. Let's go back to Mr. Callander's." "No," my sister said. "There's nothing to fear. There's nothing here to fear at all." But I heard something. does Mama always choose me when the night is so dark and my mind runs so free? About that time, that ghost eye tree, it turned its head and it looked at me. It moved its arms and it reached for me. Oh! My sister and I, we ran so fast, we ran all the way home, and we plopped down on that ground, and we set that bucket down, and we were gasping for breath. I looked at her, and she looked at me. Did you hear it? I said. She said, yeah. Did you see it? I said, yeah. Did you see the ghost? She told me not to tell Mom, because that would make Mom afraid. She'd worry for us. I looked down at the milk bucket, and I told her, but she'll know. We spilt half the milk. She told me never mind. She'd fill that milk bucket up with water. Oh, I reached up on my head. My hat. It's gone, I said. My sister turned back and looked at me, and she said, where is it? Back there, by the ghost eye tree. My sister looked at me and said, come on, let's go get it. No, I said, I don't want to go down there. It just makes me look stupid anyhow. No, it doesn't, she said. It's a beautiful hat. No, really, I said to her, we don't have to go get it. But before I had a chance to say anything, that old sister of mine, up she was. She was running down the road that led to the end of town. Down the road to the halfway tree, the ghost eye tree. Ellie, come back! Ellie! Ghost eye, he'll get you! He's right by your side! But faster than foolies that flash through your mind, Ellie came back, leaving ghost eye behind. She put that hat up on top of my head, and she said, here you go. It makes you look stupid. Didn't bother me. I pulled that hat down over one eye. I look tough, real tough, like Mike Barber in the movies, and I ain't afraid of no ghost. But, funny thing, ever since that day, ever since that tree, that halfway tree, when Ghost Eye tried to frighten me, I never seem to be around when Mama wants milk from the end of town. I hope that wasn't too spooky for you. Did you enjoy The Ghost Eye Tree by Bill Martin Jr.? If you did, he's written lots of other good books, like Knots on a Counting Rope and other wonderful books for you to read. Come back. Check out the library anytime.